I want to speak about why moving countries was probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. I made this decision that I wanted to move when I was about 21 years old. So I'm from London originally. And honestly, ever since a young age, I kind of knew that I wanted to travel, see the world. I knew there was more to life than what I was being shown. But I didn't really know how to escape. I didn't know where to go. All I knew was where I'm from, London, South London. That's all I knew. The area I grew up in, the people I grew up with, that's all I really knew. About 21 years of age, I decided to move. I didn't move then for another 2 years, so I left when I was like 23 years old. And it was the best decision I've ever made. I actually live in New Zealand now, so I don't live in London anymore. I go back and visit whenever I want, see my boys, see my family, see the people that I grew up with, see all of my people, but I don't live there anymore. And it was undoubtedly the best thing I've ever done. There's many different benefits that I got from leaving. One of the biggest benefits that I got was, probably the biggest benefit, was that I was able to be myself, who I truly was, because I wasn't surrounded by the people I grew up with. And what I mean by that is, when you stay in the same place that you grew up in, and you stay around the same group of friends, same group of family, same community, same society, same culture, it's very hard for you to fully break out of that and realize your potential, because it's like a crabs in a bucket mentality. I can't speak for everywhere in the world, but I can most certainly speak for London. The place I grew up was very dangerous, a lot of violence, a lot of crazy situations I had been in. And a lot of the people I grew up with, and just the culture in general, is a very crabs in a bucket mentality, meaning that if someone's doing well, if someone's breaking out, a lot of the community want to drag you back down. And it's quite similar in every place in the world. The people that you grew up with are always going to be an obstacle if you're trying to grow and change who you are. That's just the way it is. People find it very hard to completely change their personality, to grow into the man that they should become when they're around the exact same things that they was around from a kid. There's many reasons for that. One of the reasons is because you care about what other people think so much. If I was living in London, I would care so much about what my friends think that maybe I wouldn't go on and do what I wanted to do. Maybe I wouldn't make a video like this, because like I said in a previous video, where I'm from, we don't make videos, we don't talk like this. So maybe I would never have made this video. But moving countries, being in a place where nobody knows me, is kind of like a blank slate. You kind of can be whoever you want to be. You don't have to worry about what other people think, because no one knows you anyway. If no one knows me, why would I care what they think about me? Right? You only care what people think about you if you know them, they know you. You care about their opinion. They're your friends, family, society. I moved to Australia, I moved to New Zealand, and it was a completely blank slate. I could do whatever the fuck I want to do. I could be whoever I wanted to be. Best thing I ever did, because it enabled me to break out of my shell, to break out my conditioning, my London conditioning. My worldview was strictly what I had been taught in London. And like I said, inherently, deep down, I knew there was more out there to the world, but I didn't know what that was. I knew there was something different, but my conditioning was still social conditioning, and my worldview was still someone of the person who grew up in London. When I moved countries, I realized the truth to the world, that there's a lot more out there, and I was able to be myself fully, with no worry about consequence or repercussion. No worry about walking down the street, bumping into somebody I knew, and them saying, "Oh, you've changed now." I don't give a shit. I don't know anyone out here. So that's a massive, massive benefit of me moving out here. Another benefit that I get is, and this is kind of very specific, so it might not you might not relate to it, but another benefit I had was, I'm not worried that I'm going to get into any violent situation when I'm walking about Australia or New Zealand. In London, I had a lot of enemies. I had a lot of beef. I had a lot of shit that I went through for many years as a teenager growing up. And of course I could walk down the street, but you know, without going into heavy detail, it's a lot safer in Australia and New Zealand. Just in general, it's a much safer country. I can walk down the street and I ain't got to worry about anything. Whereas in London, I had to worry about things going on. You know, people always visit London and like, "Oh, it's such a beautiful place." And I'm like, you just don't know it. You know, if you grow up somewhere, it's completely different from visiting somewhere. Obviously, growing up, you know the people, The people know you, you're in with the culture. And, you know, I'm grateful every day that I can drive around the streets of New Zealand and Australia and feel comfortable. Feel like I ain't gonna get into no issues. I ain't gonna get into no trouble. Also, I don't have a massive ego out here like I did in London. In London, that's my city, that's my area. The amount of times I had trouble near my area, and one of the big reasons why I stood up against it was because I was thinking in my head, this is my area. You can't talk shit to me in my own area. Let's see what's gonna happen. Whereas in New Zealand and Australia, I'm chilling, man. I don't feel no sense of massive ego or pride to defend my turf. It's just low level thinking. It's not that I was scared of London at all, because I got into situations that 99% of people would crumble under. I've proved myself many times. I'm not worried at all. I'm not scared of it at all. I am it. But I'd rather not deal with it. I'd rather not deal with bullshit, people staring, people causing trouble, I'd rather not deal with it. It's just stupid. It's low level stuff. I'm trying to make money. I ain't trying to get in issues. So, like I said, you might not be able to relate to it because it's a very specific thing, living in London and then moving out. But I'm grateful every day, man. I can just kick back. Even in a place like this, I can just put my feet up, kick back. I don't have to worry about any issues. Whereas, you know, where I'm from, there are a lot of issues. So you do have to worry about it. It's like a low level anxiety. I even felt it when I went back last year. Walking around London, it's a low level anxiety because I know where shit can go because I've been in those situations. Whereas in New Zealand and Australia, it's like, yeah, of course they got their crime and issues, but I'm oblivious to it because I'm still basically a traveler, even though I've been here many years now. I guess it's like when people visit London and they're just having a great time because they're oblivious to the realness of it. Whereas it's the same with me out here. Yeah, I'm sure there's crime and stuff, but I'm oblivious to it, man. So I don't even compute it in my head. So if I don't compute it, I don't manifest it, I don't see it. So yeah, two big benefits of moving country. And I think everybody should do it. I think everybody should do it. At least once in your life, you should move and live in another country for a year, 2, 3 years, just so you can get the benefits that I did. There's many more benefits as well. I ain't gonna go into them in this video. So yeah, if you got the chance to move country and you're umming and ahhing, I definitely suggest doing it. Done.